Welcome to Your Number Man, the podcast where we dive deep into business, finance, and entrepreneurship. I am your host, Johan Zanik, but you can call me Your Number Man. Over the years, I've worn many hats in the business world, from marketing ace to financial expert. And now I'm here to share my expertise with you. Each week, we'll explore strategies, insights, and stories to help you navigate the complexities of running a successful business. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting, this podcast is your go-to resource for all things business and finance. So grab a drink, settle in, and let's unlock the secrets to building and thriving business together. This is Your Number Man, where we help you achieve a bigger life in business. So today we are laying the foundation for business financials. Have you ever experienced a day where you felt completely in control? It didn't matter what life threw at you, you tackled any challenge, anytime, and kept calm and confident with every decision. Imagine having that type of day every day. By learning the financial fundamentals, you can get out of the passenger seat of your life and hop into the driver's seat. Mental fog, indecisiveness, and uncertainty in business will be things of the past. Each of you will face a wide range of challenges daily. But a great and funny thing about life is that our failings and imperfections help guide us through every day. I'm not saying it's not brutal out there, especially in business. Still, I think our job as business owners is to make sure that we get in that driver's seat every day and drive confidently, know where we are going, and equip ourselves as best as possible to make the right decisions. And above all, have clarity. We want to be able to see obstacles on the road. We want to know if we took the wrong turn and how to correct it. Just as you can take the wrong turn in your daily life, you can do the same in business. So let's gain some clarity on which are actually the wrong turns you've made along the way or coming up. I believe key aspects shaping your business are knowing your market, customers, and future prospects. And knowing your numbers is an important part of gaining clarity for the long drive ahead. Success is different for everyone. So now is the time to think about what you really want out of your business. It may be financial freedom, extreme wealth, happy customers, and a great reputation, or you just may love owning a business and working for yourself. But as we know, one of the key features of a business is to make a profit. You have to make more than you put in for the business to be sustainable and grow. Every business faces challenges. Will yours be able to weather the storm in difficult times? If profit has not been your top criteria for your business, you might as well shut the door and find a job or volunteer. That would be less stressful than keeping a business afloat. Business numbers and financial statements are the universal language to measure success. But as mentioned, just like our personal life, money is a great tool for financial freedom and a stepping stone that will contribute to our happiness. But the paradox lies here. Things that make us happy are not things. Is it not family, friends, relationships, exploring, or adventure that really makes us happy? I myself like to find little joys in life and have a daily little fist pump moment that sometimes can just happen out of the blue. I'm sure, just like me, you also know a lot of wealthy people that are just plain miserable. Some of them got high-powered jobs where they slave away for 5 or 6 days a week. Some of them work 10 to 12-hour days and report to people even more miserable than themselves. They work in a toxic team where the pursuit of material things just becomes this endless vicious circle. Not to say going to work for yourself will change the situation. With the wrong outlook, you'll likely get sucked into working with over-demanding clients or sell products to a market of overly tough customers. And who wants that? And then you'll get stressed, lose focus on your numbers and your market, and your clarity will diminish like the mist in front of the sun. If this is the case, you'll run into major cash flow problems while your suppliers and customers squeeze the life out of you and your business. My aim is to help you find true happiness and fulfillment in your business. When you nail your business management, your numbers can help put you back in the driver's seat so you can achieve a bigger life in your business. Okay, let's talk business. There are three key financial statements you need to be aware of in your business: profit and loss, as we also like to refer to it as your P&L, your balance sheet, and a cash flow statement. Without knowing how to use each of your business advantage, you're left driving in the dark with no headlights. Your profit and loss records all your income, subtract all your expenses, and then shows you the profit you make. It will show you how your last month, quarter, and year has been. Your balance sheet records your bank savings, unpaid invoices from clients, available stock, and other assets like equipment, vehicles, land, or something along those lines. It will also show the business liabilities. So if you owe any money or have any debt, and then the equity, in other words, when you subtract all your assets from liabilities, that is the actual book value of your business. Finally, we have the unsung hero of financial statements, the cash flow statement. Many businesses put a lot of effort into their P&L and balance sheet, but don't give the cash flow the attention it deserves. A cash flow statement can show you the state of your business cash at a certain time. It's a hybrid between the balance sheet and the P&L. In the coming weeks, we will dive deeper into cash flow, balance sheet, and other statements. But today, we are talking about the profit and loss. The P&L is probably the most famous as it indicates a business state and overall performance. I always recommend reviewing your balance sheet and cash flow to get the clearest idea, but your P&L is a great starting point. A P&L states your income, expense, and profit, which we can break down using some basic maths. If you remember, in year one, we were given maths problems like the following. A farmer gave Jenny 5 apples. On her way home, she gives one to the shepherd and she eats one under a tree. How many apples did she have when she arrived home? 3, of course. Well, it's the same with business. Jenny had 3 left, or in business terms, her profit. So that is one of the most basic calculations in the world. But what happens in the real world is that simple calculation can get extremely complicated. So much so that a lot of business owners put it in the too hard basket and rely on their bookkeepers and accountants to decipher it for tax purposes, never touching it again until their next tax return, and relying on their bank manager or hotshot lawyer sons-in-laws tell them if they are off the rails. And guess what? By the time that happens, it's too late. I've seen it with many business owners who were just far too removed from their numbers. Even in my early days of running a business, I didn't care much for reports. I always thought it was fine with a healthy amount of money in the bank, but then I had to learn the hard way. So let's get down to your P&L. Yes, you have your income minus expenses, which will give you your profit. But there are actually 2 extra aspects to take into account. Let's chat about each one and how you can use it to maximize your bottom line. So the bloodline of any business is income. There are a lot of words or descriptions for it. Revenue, sales, turnover, it's all income. Most of the income for a business is generated through products and services they sell. Sometimes businesses will have other income not directly generated from their core business, such as interest income or selling an asset. Some businesses sometimes qualify for government rebates or grants. We'll chat more about this later, but for now, let's assume that all income is from product or service sales. Then you have your direct expenses. Many businesses also refer to this as the cost of goods sold, or COGS. COGS. And that's exactly what it is. It is costs that are directly related to sales income. In most cases, it consists of inputs or direct materials in a production process and a direct labor attributed to it. So if, for instance, you make shoes and you sell 100 pairs this month, for you to make these shoes, you had to get someone on the factory floor who came in once a week for 8 hours, and you pay this person $30 per hour. So your direct labor is 8 times 30 hours times 4 weeks. That equals 960. Then you also had to buy a lot of materials, which cost you, let's say, $1,000. So your total direct expenditure, or COGS, for the month is 1,960. So from these two aspects, you will find the gross profit. The GP will be the number after you subtracted your COGS from income. So if you sold 100 pairs of shoes for $50 a pair, your total sales would be $5,000. Now, as we worked out, our total COGS is 1,960. This leaves us with a GP of 3,040. And then we get a gross profit ratio. Now, your GP ratio, together with your cash flow, is what I believe the two most important things to stay on top of in your business. So we talked about income, we talked about your COGS, and we talked about your gross profit. The fourth item is your overhead expense. So after your GP, on the P&L comes all your other expenses which are not directly related to your sales. Most of these costs are fixed, such as rent, insurances, subscriptions, and salaries you pay for your administrative people and management. You can also look at it from this point of view. If you had no sales at all, you'd still be stuck with most of these expenses. But then the good news is that if your sales drastically increases, your overhead expenses will not really change. So there will be a stage where the GP you earn will go directly to the bottom line. So in this case, coming back to the shoe business example, let's say you rented a shed, you had to pay insurance, you had some stationery, paid a bit of marketing expenditure, and you paid yourself a bit of a salary for running the business. It all came down to about $2,500 per month. Gross profit was $3,040. Minus our overheads, which is $2,500. We can say our bottom line, or our net profit, is $540. I've had numerous clients that, the money was in the bank. They thought they made a profit. But then we really dug into the business and say, let's do a diagnosis of the company. And we realized they were just boosting sales and really not too focused on their gross profit. For instance, looking at your efficiencies, looking at your suppliers, really zone into your numbers when it comes to what drives your direct expenditure, what drives your production process, and how that can have such a major effect on your gross profit. The thing about business is, they say, take your time to grow your business. Sales will come. It will come with your branding, with your marketing over time. But be impatient to focus on your profit, specifically your gross profit, right? And then you will have the basis to grow your business. So the easiest way to start is really zoning into your gross profit. What is your margin? Is that margin good enough? Can I better it? And only then you will lay down a basis for a much higher return on your investment. All right, we talked about a profit and loss and the gross profit in specifically. And it's hard for me not to mention the break even when you talk about profit and specifically gross profit, because you need to understand at what point in time or at what point is your business actually breaking even. So sometimes the first goal for a business is reaching that break even point. Taking it into account is helpful when you're setting targets, and it will allow you to make clearer and faster business decisions and answer questions like, is a product really worth selling, or is it too risky? For instance, you are really creaming it on social media with your shoes that's selling at $100 a pair. You might sell 2,000 pairs a month, but that pair of shoes is costing you $90 to make. So on top of all your selling costs, which is part of your overheads, you are actually making a loss, but you think you are creaming it because you haven't really done an in-depth analysis of your gross profit and really understand how many shoes you got to sell before you actually make a profit. I mean, it could be that your overheads are actually way high and you actually need to sell 4,000 pairs of shoes to even just break even because of the low margin. And that is why it's so important to really understand those two fundamentals, your break-even point and your gross profit. So being clear on your gross profit margin will help you get a margin of safety in your business and allow you to tweak some of your numbers with confidence to have a profound outcome on your net profit. Most of all, be patient with building your brand and growing your business. But be impatient with getting your profit right, because once you've nailed it, success will breed more success. So before I'm signing off, every week I'm going to give you a numeric. So you might ask, what is a numeric? Well, a numeric is a limerick, but a limerick relating to numbers. For instance, I was thinking about a limerick and decided to write a numeric. It makes numbers more fun and gives you more time in the sun. And all in all, will stop your numbers from getting sick. Anyway, that's a very lame one. More of an explanation, basically, what a numeric is. The one that I want to sign off today is, I met a bloke from Kathmandu. He was a bloody fine Sherpa too. Helping people to the peak made me ponder for a week. Is that not what numbers also can do? And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining me, and I hope today's session was valuable and you feel inspired to take action in your business. Remember, business success is about more than just numbers. It's about passion, determination, and a relentless drive to pursue your dreams through the help of numbers. So keep pushing forward, learning and striving for a bigger life in your business. If you found this podcast valuable, be sure to subscribe. Follow us on socials and leave a review if you enjoyed today's episode. And one last thing, if you want access to additional resources that will help you fast track your cash flow and financial freedom, visit yournumberman.com.au. Until next time, this is Johan Zanik, your number man, signing off. Thanks again.